everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This week's video we're going to be doing the September bullet journal spreads. The theme for this month is fall leaves, so I have autumnal colors picked out, which is actually pretty similar to like my last month's theme colors, but they're going to be used in different ways, obviously. So I just want to address, obviously we're back to top-down view. I have a temporary solution of a duct tape sling. So we'll see how long that lasts. I'm just gonna get right into it so that I don't have to worry about my duct tape sling breaking in the middle of filming this. Hopefully we can get through this spread, all of these spreads, I guess, without anything happening. So without further ado, let's get into the first two pages. This first page is a mood tracker, habit tracker, and calendar all in one. The calendar's in the center, the mood tracker is at the top and bottom, and then the habit trackers are down the side. I wanted to utilize the space as best as I possibly could, so that's why I've chosen to lay out all of these elements like this, and I thought like the wind blowing the leaves would kind of make a cool effect. Anyways, I finally found my number 3 micron pen, so that's what I'm going to start with to draw these leaves, and then I'll use my number 8 like normal for the calendar spreads. I'm not quite sure what I want to do for these boxes yet for the habit trackers, but I will figure that out once I get a little bit further in. So I'm going to do a little time lapse of me doing the line art for the leaves, maybe the calendar as well, and then we can decide what I want to do for the rest of it. So this actually isn't the first time that I've done a fall leaf themed spread. I think I've been doing this for like 6 years now, and my second ever spread was in September. I decided to start in August for whatever reason. So anyway, September I did fall leaves for that very first year I started bullet journaling, and it was okay. It wasn't super, like the theme wasn't very integrated because I had like a really big journal and I was filling up most of the page with like the boxes that you put stuff in. So I figured I would give it another try and breathe some new life into these spreads in 2025. Now that the bulk of the central line art is done, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same 8 pen for the the habit trackers along the side, and I'll write in all of the numbers like I usually do. I just think that'll look best instead of doing like a blocky square or something like that. And then I want to do like block or bubble letters for the September, but I hate drawing the line art for the block letters. So I think what I'm going to do is go in with the color first and then do the pen over top. And then if it's messy, it is what it is. I'm not going to bore you with drawing the same calendar 8 times. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in all of those numbers through a time lapse. Same with all the numbers for the mood tracker here. And then I'll bring you back when we're about to do the color. I said I was gonna come back and do the color, but I changed my mind because coloring is my least favorite part because I feel like I'm so bad at it. Like I can't pick the right colors in the right order and whatnot. I'm like trialing a plaid pattern for like these next spreads. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do like all of the line art. And then maybe we can go to coloring. But anyways, this is the first week. It's a very, very, very simple spread. We are running a little low on time because of like wedding planning and all sorts of things going on in my life. So then I have another spread. This one is 1 week on one page, and then this one is 2 weeks on one page. You've seen this one a bunch of times before on my page, so it's not going to be anything new. So let's just get going with the first week here. I'm going to use the number 5 micron this time to outline the leaves, and inside each leaf is where the number is going to be. So I'm gonna keep them nice, simple shapes here. Maple leaves are, I should be okay at drawing them because, you know, I'm from Canada and that's on our flag, but I'm actually not very good at drawing them. The whole symmetry thing, not the best. So I'm gonna leave that one to very last to outline because, you know, scary. So this one I'm gonna make the leaves round instead of pointed like originally. With this branch. I tried to make sure that each leaf was a different kind of leaf, but my imagination is not quite good enough for that. So we do have 1 repeat, but I think that's pretty good that I otherwise have like 8 different leaves or different enough leaves. Now to tackle the worst one. Okay, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not great either. I am gonna draw the border in between each day as well. We'll do that with the number 8. I did the counting to make sure that these were all even. So this is the center line of the page. I'm not going all the way top to bottom. I'm leaving like 1 dot worth of space. And then this center line is actually in between 2 boxes, I guess. And I also am not going all the way to the edge there. There we go. And we'll do the same thing on this page. And then, like I said, I'm trying out like a little plaid moment. So I think I want to do that at the top of each box here. I'm gonna have to erase before I do that, so I'll come back later with the color, but for now we're just gonna move on to the next page. So for week 2, the leaf details are separating the pages. I definitely stole this idea off of Pinterest, and it kind of goes back and matches these leaves here. I thought it would be a nice way to tie the 2 pages in together. So I'm just gonna outline a couple of them just so you can see what it looks like in real time, and then I'm just gonna speed through the rest of it because I don't want things to get too repetitive. I'm going in with the number 3 micron first, and then I'll go in and do the details of like the little spines or veins, I guess, in the leaves. I will do that with the number 1 micron. The only thing that I really cared about for these leaves was that the same leaf wasn't next to, you know, the same one. Does that make any sense? Probably not. You know, I just didn't want the same leaves to be side by side. I'm also not doing any other kind of borders, like this is it. I just drew these corners to make sure that I didn't go too far and that each box was kind of somewhat evenly spaced. With these square pages, this 2-week spread is actually one of my favorites to put on a page because it's so straightforward and simple. You literally just draw straight lines, 8 of them. I guess technically 10 straight lines. And then you're doing 1 design for 2 weeks. If you don't need a lot of space, then it works perfectly because the days of the week aren't very big. And I like that you can just go like down one side and then down the other side. I may learn soon that I need more space because they've changed the way that our scheduling program works at work. Like we've switched to a more, I don't know, personal-based model, I guess is what you could call it. So you are way more in charge of your own schedule and making sure that you get paid compared to like filling out a timesheet and then having our unit clerks or somebody else deal with it. So in some respects, it's keeping us more accountable, but also at the same time, it's really frustrating to have to wait for certain things to be approved before you can add your modifiers to it. Like for example, as you know, like I'm a nurse, so the charge nurse position, you do get paid a little bit more when you have to take on that role. So with this new system, you have to add the modifier of charge pay to your shift, but you can't add it before the shift starts. Like if you show up early to your shift, you can't add it until your shift starts, which like a little frustrating, but not the end of the world. The most frustrating part though, is if you have to stay late and do any overtime, you can't add that charge pay modifier to the overtime until the overtime gets approved. Like I don't know why you wouldn't be able to just do it all in one form, but you have to do 2 separate forms in the app in order to get all of the pay. I think it would be easier, more user-friendly if we were able to just fill out one form, add all of the modifiers that we needed to, and then submit it for like manager approval. Because it's really quite frustrating when you do overtime on a Friday night and then Monday morning is when it gets approved, and then you have to go back and remember to add your charge pay to the overtime from Friday. So it's just, that part's really quite frustrating. So I'm gonna probably need a little bit more space in the coming weeks in order to make sure that I am remembering to go back and chart these things, or I guess fill out the forms and have them submitted, because I don't want to not be paid for the work I do, you know? That's my little rant as I go through these drawings here. As you can see, the design, I'm keeping it very simple, very straightforward. The day of the week will go in the center here, and then the numbers will go down the sides. So I'm just gonna draw the number in like a thicker pen, so that even though my line art here is actually like on the thicker side, it's a 5, these lines are 8, you can still tell what day of the week it is. I'm not gonna bother, actually maybe I will bother, doing the same details inside the leaves over here, just because the days of the week are going to be on top of them. So I don't know if I want to like muddy the waters a little bit with that. Maybe I'll go in with the 1, and then the contrast will just be like nice. Like that's good. That's all we need to do. Just to add like a little bit of something, you know? But then it's also not super obtrusive. So I wrote in the numbers along with the days of the week over here, so I'm just going to continue that. So 13 was the last one here, so we'll start with 14 at the top and then just keep going down. I choose to put my numbers in the top corner because then it's kind of out of the way. And then if you do like bullet points or whatever, you can just start them underneath of the number there, or not. You could do the number in this corner so that it's like you have the full amount of space. That's actually not a bad idea now that I think about it, but we're already done one side, so may as well just keep doing what we're doing here. I just like that it brings the color to the outside as well as the center here. To begin the coloring portion, like I said, I've selected my fall autumnal colors, and I wanted to make the mood tracker as if, you know, you're going from the leaves being green and then as they decay they turn colors. So I've opted for not using brown in the tracker so that I could do all of the stems and then these other like additional plants in brown, and then all of the mood trackers will be in here. So we'll start from like the best day ever to the worst day ever. I did leave a little space down at the bottom here to color in those moods. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in those circles first. Okay, we're already coloring outside of the lines. That's not the best start, but we'll work with it. And then since we're not using the brown, we'll go ahead and color all of the little leaf bits in brown. And then I will just mix and match whatever colors I want for the top here and the sides, as well as the letters for September down the side here. Good mix of colors. Some of these letters turned out better than the others. Like I like this P and the B. I don't know about the rest of them, but let's keep going. Our first week, we're gonna attempt the plaid pattern that I've been doodling on the side here. I don't know how well it's gonna work with like the colors of leaves. Maybe I'll keep the leaves all this color and this color. I don't know. Let's just try our luck and see what happens. Okay, so I tried the first time and I really hated the way that it looked. I kind of messed up compared to my test pattern. So I'm using this offcut from, I don't know, some Dutch door I made, and I've redone the pattern with the amount of space that I have. And I like this much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this here, and then we'll see if it looks good in the journal. Okay, so I expanded the plaid to 5 spaces instead of 4, and I think that makes it look a little nicer, which means I'll make my letters a little bit bigger so that they take up 3 spaces. I'm gonna go ahead and write Sunday in here and we'll see how it looks. I'm really hoping that it looks okay. Okay, could be better, could be worse. I wonder if I continued the plaid over all the way to the edge, if it would look better, and then just leave the leaves in white. Maybe I'll try that and I will bring you back. It definitely looks better behind everything, so I'm going to continue that for the rest of the rows here. I'm still undecided if I want to color in the leaf in red or orange, alternate them, I don't know. So maybe I'll finish all of the plaid first and then make that decision later. I'm not entirely sure if I love it or hate it. I feel like I went too far by adding the thick brown lines. So, you know, if you're doing your own gingham, you can make up your own pattern. I am, though, after hearing from the council, aka my fiance, I am gonna color in the leaves a different color. I don't know about this red, but the orange I feel like looks okay. So we'll start with orange and we'll alternate and see if that works. If it does, then I will also do red. Maybe you can hear my cat meowing in the background, but apparently he's desperate to get in, but he's not allowed it. Okay, that definitely made it look better in my opinion. So I'm glad that I decided to go that route. And now it's time to move on to week 2. I started just by going color by color and filling in the little leaf shapes that I've created. I just tried to spread the colors around as evenly as I possibly could. I ended up realizing that I forgot to do the little details for the center leaves, so I added those in as well. And then once everything was colored in, I moved on to the final 2-week spread. As you can see, I'm just, again, coloring each leaf in a different color, and then I forgot to write the days of the week in the center, but I did end up doing that eventually. All right, without further ado, these are the finished spreads. I filmed this once already and then realized I forgot to add some things to the very last page. So this is the official final flip through. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. I post new videos about twice a month. I hope you have a lovely week and I will see you all in the next video.